Hello, this is Batman Jeremy W.
Neo-Jeremian calendar. For Mars, 227,936,640 kilometers, 1.524 astronomical units. A calendar for Mars. Refer to tables as shown on screen now. If we ever get a human colony on Mars and it stays there long enough, I hope we would develop a Martian calendar. My calendar is Neo-Jeremian calendar, hopefully it will become Mars World calendar, just like ours is the Gregorian. This calendar should still base Earth as its central. Thus the human colonists on Mars would have hanging up next to each other at all times, Gregorian or Earth calendar with the Neo-Jeremian or Martian one next to it. You would have to base Earth as a central or you would get way too confused in when measuring time. A sol is one rotation of Mars. A sol is 24.6598 hours, 24 hours 39 minutes 35.244 seconds, its orbit or year is 686.973 Earth days, or 668.592 sols, 668 sols 14 hours 35 minutes 54.97 seconds. This means that the sol is only 2.749% longer than a day. NASA's Martian clock just took and lengthened all Earth measurements of time by this percentage. That is 39 minutes 35.244 seconds longer than a day. I shall use our hours, minutes, and seconds. I will count 24 hours 39 minutes 35.244 seconds before ticking to the next sol. To do this I will use a millisecond counter. The sol is the base unit. I shall divide its year into 22 months, span 28 to 31 sols each. Most of my month lengths can be explained by mathematics. It has a 668 sol common Martian year and a 669 sol leap Martian year. This is simple and easy to understand for everyone to grasp. This calendar does start with 1 on its year count. This calendar uses the Western zodiac on its zodiacal months. This is an easy calendar. This is simple and easy to understand. I find it quite easy to grasp. Mars is 227,936,640 kilometers, 1.524 astronomical units, from the Sun, which gives it a longer year. Named for the Roman god of war, the red planet has some features much like Earth. Mars has climate, seasons, volcanoes, and possibly once had liquid water flowing across its surface. Refer to tables as shown on screen now. Eventually, if the colony ever got big enough, we would need to develop time zones as well. I would do this similar to the Earth's time zones, which is add or subtract an hour every 15 degrees east/west of the prime meridian, respectively. On Mars the GMT equivalent is ARI 0 mean time. This will establish other time zones. ARI 0 is the crater that Mars prime meridian passes through. I will leave the naming of these time zones up to someone else, as well as the official placement of them. When measuring from the Mars origin point, 0 degree east/west, 0 degree north/south, going clockwise there is 865.537 kilometers between each time zone. If you put a colony on Phobos, then each time zone would cover 2.828 kilometers, measuring clockwise around it from its origin point. With Deimos, then each time zone would cover 1.58 kilometers, measuring clockwise around it from its origin point. Each moon would still use the Neo-Jeremian calendar for planning sol-to-sol activities. Figuring out a leap year for Mars is tricky, considering it is different from Earth. Its leap year falls every odd year, every 10 Martian years, a leap year is omitted every 100 Martian years, and a centurial leap year every 500 Martian years. The leap sol is February 29th. Why such a confusing leap year? Because Mars in itself is confusing. This calendar has an accuracy of 7,566,666 Martian years, its LS is the anti-meridian. To remember the lengths of the months, say, the Gregorian months have the same lengths as they do on Earth, and the zodiacal months all have 30 sols except Gemini, Libra, and Sagittarius, which all have 31 sols, and to remember their order, say, it's just the same order as on the Gregorian calendar, but with a zodiacal month inserted between each Gregorian one, with the exception of September and October, which are right next to each other, and the zodiacal months go next the Gregorian months that they are usually associated with. This calendar does keep the religious 7-sol week cycle. This will make it more acceptable for the religious groups, making religion on Mars easy. This is in contrast to Thomas Gongali's need to shorten the week to 6 sols in his Darien calendar. Mars can easily be seen with the naked eye on most clear nights, which is why it was one of the first planets to be studied by ancient astronomers. Later, when telescopes came into use, many observers claimed that canals made by Martians existed on the planet's surface, which led to speculation as to whether there was intelligent life there. Unmanned probes have since put all those theories to rest. The canals turned out to be topographic patterns and dust storms. Although Mars' orbital path is nearly circular, it is somewhat eccentric than that of most other planets. Mars is 42,600,000 kilometers farther from the Sun at its most distant point compared to its closest approach. Its orbit and speed in relation to Earth bring it fairly close to Earth about every 2 Earth years. Every 15 to 17 Earth years the close approaches are especially favorable for observation. Mars rotates in 24 hours 39 minutes, almost the same period of time as Earth. Refer to tables as shown on screen now. The epoch NASA likes to use is Galileo Galilei's first observations of Mars with a telescope, 1609 This epoch was first suggested by Peter Koch. This would be the before Galileo Galilei's telescopic observation of Mars, BGM, and current observation of Mars, CGM. This would make the current Martian year be 213 CGM. Another popular epoch among Mars calendars is the Viking mission, 1975 This epoch was first suggested by Thomas Gongali. This would be the before the Viking mission, BV, and after the Viking mission, AV. This would make the current Mars year be 18 AV. But the epoch I will use is Jesus Christ's birth. The JD count is 1721416. The epoch formula for Mars is open parenthesis y times 365.2425 times 24 closed parenthesis divided by 24.6598 closed parenthesis divided by 668.592, y equals current Earth year, round to nearest whole number. This would make current Mars year be plus 1068 m plus 1068 m started on September 6, 2008 and will end on July 24, 2010 July 25, 2010 will start plus 1069 m. The Martian year of plus 1072 m began on March 15, 2016 and will end on February 1, 2018 February 2, 2018 will start plus 1073 m. This calendar begins with January 1. This is a vernal equinox calendar for Mars, it is non-perpetual. The seasons will fall like this: Taurus 21 is vernal equinox, Leo 01 is summer solstice, September 26 is autumnal equinox, and December 16 is winter solstice, all jump back a sol on leap Mars years. Spring lasts 193.30 sols, summer lasts 178.64 sols, autumn lasts 142.70 sols, and winter lasts 153.95 sols. Gemini 18 is aphelion and Capricorn 16 is perihelion. The holy sols are as follows: January 11 is Mars Sol, May 2 is Exploration Sol, Taurus 22 is Galileo Sol, and Foundation Sol is the first sol that the first colony was established on Mars. NASA fiddled with the Martiana calendar during the Viking missions, but that does not make it the calendar for Mars. There are no inaccuracies in my calculations. This will be more accepted by religious groups. NASA has currently not decided on an independent calendar to use for timekeeping on Mars. None of the other calendars I looked at had a good enough leap year system on them. Mine is much more accurate than any of theirs. My main competitors on these secular calendars that have been proposed for Mars are Blort, Becker, Cronin, Notonomira, and Woods Gongali. They're all secular, so no Christian would be willing to use them. Only 3 of them give you back the proper year with their epochs. 2 of them are perpetual. 3 of them are not based on the vernal equinox. 1. Notonomira has a need to shorten the week to 6 sols. These factors combined would make all Christians hate them. The age equivalencies are start school at 3 Mars years, drive at 9 Mars years, vote at and end school at 10 Martian years, get drunk at 11 Martian years, and retire at 34 Martian years. The length of a work sol is 8 hours 13 minutes 12 seconds. This is simple. Applications information. Anyways, people would set up everything to this calendar. The fiscal year would become just a cycle of any 22 calendar months. When shipping stuff between planets, though, everything would be converted to the JD count or Earth time. Now to talk the academic year, this would be quite different from Earth. So as to not get confused, in the table below I will equate it to Earth time for you. Our Mars year fixer will be 1070 m, so 1071 m will start on April 27, 2014 e, and will end on March 14, 2016 e. To design a mechanical clock for Mars, you must first give a sol on Mars the appearance of having 24 hours. So in order to do this, I will take and make Martian hours, Martian minutes, and Martian seconds. Each Martian hour will be made up of 60 Martian minutes, and each Martian minute will be made up of 60 Martian seconds. 1 Martian second will be equal to 1.027491667 Earth seconds. This is because there are 88,775.28 atomic seconds in a sol, and I want to give the illusion that there are only 86,400 Martian seconds in a sol, which means that you'll have to set each Martian second to be equivalent to 1.027491667 Earth seconds/atomic seconds. This is what you would have to do in order to make a mechanical clock for Mars. Hope that helps you out with that fun of designing a mechanical clock for Mars. It was fun doing this. The planet time is secondary. The planet time is tracked independently from Earth time, but it is not shown apart from Earth time. Therefore color codes are used. Mars is red, Earth is green. Refer to tables as shown on screen now. The importance of these applications is, because you were born on a different planet. If we were to measure your age in Earth time, we would not be getting an accurate image of how old you actually are. By setting everything to the new planet, Mars, an accurate image of age and operations is given. The operations image explains why companies would set their fiscal year to the planet time, Mars. Without it set to planet time, Mars, and not Earth time, you would not get an accurate image of these company/business operations. As far as holidays/holy souls go, their calendar would show both. The holidays on Mars, most of them would be celebrated twice per year, the holy souls would be celebrated once per year. For practical purposes, when February on the Mars calendar has 29 souls, that'll be called a common year, when it has 28 souls that'll be called a subtraction year, and when it has 29 souls on a centurial year that'll be called a leap year. This simplicity is because February on the Mars calendar will have 29 sols more often than it will have 28 sols. This is because of the leap year rules. The lifespan of a human is 64 Martian years. The way these calendars would be sold is near the end of the Martian year, because it is longer than an Earth year. The color coded remains the same for the clocks. All planet time clocks are digital, there is no AM/PM style for Mars. The clocks just count 24 hours 39 minutes 35.244 seconds. Computers meant for Mars would show time the same way. Noon is shown as 12 hours 19 minutes 47.670 seconds, and midnight is shown as 24 hours 39 minutes 35.244 seconds. All Earth time is shown in GMT. The Mars time zones are made just like Earth's time zones, they are set up to the Martian coordinate system. Refer to tables as shown on screen now. The birth certificate example above only includes what would be different between a regular Earth birth certificate and a birth certificate for someone born on this planet, Mars. Next I will show you an example of what that same person's driver's license would look like, enlarged picture not included. All names in these examples are fake. Refer to tables as shown on screen now. On the next page is a suggested time zones map for Mars. Equivalencies: 25.4 mm equals 2,247 km. The anti-meridian doubles as a zone end line, and when we colonize it will double as an international date line. For Mars, when you crossed the international date line, you would set your planet time clocks ahead/back a full 24 hours 39 minutes 35.244 seconds, 1 sol, depending on direction of travel. Officially on Mars it will not be called Daylight Savings Time, DST, instead it'll be called Solar Light Savings Time, SST. Here's a political flag that I have designed for usage by future colonists of Mars. I think this flag will be something they will like. I like the way it looks. Refer to map as shown on screen now. Here's an equation that can be used to calculate it when a Martian year began, according to the Gregorian, and when that year will end or has ended, according to the Gregorian. The equation goes as follows: open parenthesis y times 668.592 times 24.6598 closed parenthesis divided by 24 closed parenthesis divided by 365.2425, y equals current Martian year, round to nearest whole number. Although this equation is not consistently applied on my calendar, I think it will be helpful. Rough drafts information. Initially this was called the Jeremian calendar and it had 24 months. They were originally 27 to 29 sols long each, but I dropped the zodiacal months of Cancer and Virgo to shorten the calendar to 22 months instead, and I lengthened the lengths of the months to 28 to 31 sols each, so that the calendar would still cover the entire Martian year. I did this for aesthetic reasons, to lessen the occurrences of Frisol 13ths, this calendar's equivalent of Friday 13ths, and so that I wouldn't have a calendar full of Februaries, by which I mean having a calendar full of months that all have 27 to 29 sols each. The reason that Cancer and Virgo were the zodiacal months that were dropped are going to sound trivial and ridiculous, but here they are. I dropped Cancer because I didn't want blondes thinking I named an entire month after a disease, and I dropped Virgo because I had an ex-girlfriend that had the zodiac sign of Virgo and I don't like her. This is my calendar, so my opinion is the only one that matters. If you want to use my calendar you will use it in its new format, okay? Besides, this new format is better than the old one, in my opinion, and like I said, my opinion is the only one that matters, because it's my calendar. So deal with it or don't use my calendar. Christians, this is the only calendar for Mars that has your ideals in mind, so just remember that. I hope at the very least the Martian colonists that do use this calendar will remember to thank me for it. The reason the calendar does not have a March is because March is named for Mars, so I see no reason to have a month on the calendar named for the planet it's being used on. So instead I switched out the month of March for a month named Taurch. I was going to name the month of Taurch something like Terra, Terradilus, Terrauri, or even Ter-Amber, but I thought those names would be too confusing and just settled on just simply calling it Taurch. The same logic goes for why there's no Taysol on the calendar, so I switched that out for a sol in the 7-sol week cycle named Erdsol, named for Earth. My 3 holy sols are Mars Sol, which is January 11th and celebrates the landing of the Mars rover, Exploration Sol, which is May 2nd and celebrating the Viking missions on Mars, Galileo Sol, which is Taurus 22 and celebrating Galileo Galilei's first observation of Mars. In this video I've called the 668 Sol year the common year and the 669 Sol year the leap year, but I think that when this calendar become used regularly that will be somewhat reversed. It'll be more like this, with the 669 Sol being the common year and the 668 Sol year being called a subtraction or uncommon year. This is because the 669 Sol year occurs 296 times inside a 500-year time span, whereas the 668 Sol only occurs 204 times inside that same time span. So presumably people will call the year length that occurs more often the common year and the shorter year length something else. That makes more sense to me, because that's what we did with the Earth calendar. I might add more holy souls later too. Information that has been omitted for anonymity reasons. Refer to summary tables as shown on screen now. If you are having trouble reading slides/tables/maps shown on screen, there is a link in the description to my DeviantArt page that will give you artwork of the slides/tables/maps that are easier to read, which you can follow along with.
Please keep the comment section polite. I am polite to you, please be polite to me. Let's all be polite to each other, no trolling. I won't troll you, you don't troll me. Let's all be polite to each other, okay? Please keep the comment section polite. Goodbye.